Truly, one of the most unexpected weekends in UFC history. Sean O'Malley faced off against a vicious Petr Yan, and the aftermath had the entire world divided. Experts now believe that O'Malley deserves his #1 spot as he rose from being an underdog to proving himself in one of the greatest fights of his life. But many feel robbed after watching the match, so keep watching as we delve deeper into this. Starting off with, Sean O'Malley hasn't exactly surprised us. We somewhat get why so many people believed O'Malley would be completely outclassed by Petr Yan. He is a past division champion, brutal, vicious, and experienced, considerably more so than O'Malley. O'Malley hasn't faced a lot of tough competition, but his abilities and athleticism have always been obvious, and his intelligence, complemented by his enormous talent, is the strongest factor. He is aware of the game, he is truthful with himself, and doesn't mind if the other members of his team are as well. You probably find it amusing when we say that O'Malley doesn't have a big ego, since his persona is based on the idea that he does. But the truth is, he really doesn't. He works very hard and gets the required legwork done. He has stylistic advantages over Yan that some people aren't aware of because they're focused on the increase in the level of competition. It's always been clear that O'Malley is the real deal, and he's passionately determined to remain committed for the next 10 years. If he succeeds in doing that, he might even outperform Conor McGregor in terms of fame and success. At the very least, it's possible. Next up, Sterling desperately tries to stay the course. When Petr Yan was disqualified from a fight with Aljamain Sterling last year because he landed an illegal fight-ending knee, Sterling won the UFC Bantamweight Championship. In a rematch versus Yan in April, Sterling won a close split decision to win the title once more. Now, in Sterling's second championship defense, the wounded Dillashaw was stopped by a TKO in the second round. Early in the fight, Dillashaw's left shoulder popped out after a takedown, and it stayed out the whole first round as Sterling out-grappled him. During the intermission, coach Dwayne Ludwig was able to reinsert the shoulder, but in the second round it came out once more. Dillashaw was unable to effectively defend himself, so Sterling finished the fight. For Sterling, the past 19 months have been absolutely strange. No doubt he has the UFC Bantamweight Championship, but the way he got the belt and kept it has been unconventional to say the least. Can Sterling even do anything about it? He's a talented boxer, and none of those unforeseeable events could have been prevented. It's likely that some fans won't give him full credit for this victory either, but it isn't his fault that Dillashaw kept it a secret that he was hurt, and the pre-fight physicals missed the shoulder problem. Sterling handled his operation and successfully made a second title defense. Lastly, Sterling is just riding the wave. By the way, Sterling's second consecutive championship defense has him tied with Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz, and Renan Barão for the longest title defense streak in UFC bantamweight history. The 135-pound crown has been a real hot potato ever since Cruz's first title reign spanned the WEC and the UFC. The promotion took its athletes and belts with it because of its acquisition by the company. Given the situation, it's really fascinating how Sterling has made more title defenses in the division since 2015 than anyone else. There's nothing to be ashamed of for Sterling. When he won the title by DQ the previous year, he received criticism for puffing out his chest, even though Yan was leading the fight before the foul. He's simply riding the wave in this unpredictable sport while also being a skilled competitor. Nothing can be taken from him. He didn't illegally throw a knee, and he didn't cover up a serious injury. What more is there for us to ask of him when he keeps winning matches? In other news, firstly, the debate between Sean O'Malley and Petr Yan. Prior to the main event on the fight card on Saturday in Abu Dhabi, Sean O'Malley and Petr Yan put on a show at UFC 280. After some online teasing, Yan shoved a reporter during the pregame press conference. Did the drama continue inside the octagon? Simply said, definitely. O'Malley was able to routinely land powerful blows throughout the fight, despite only being just under 6 foot tall and having a 72-inch reach. Yan, however, continued to succeed on the ground by taking down opponents on 6 of 13 occasions. O'Malley's performance in the third round, when a powerful knee strike busted Yan up, proved to be the deciding factor on the judges' scorecards. In the third, Yan scored a couple more takedowns, but O'Malley's score was still in his favor. By the end of the fight, O'Malley had a considerable strike advantage over Yan of 84-58. Many UFC stars, though, expressed their disapproval of the outcome on Twitter. Up next, did Yan even win? Fighters' opinions on the contentious outcome flooded in via tweets. Stars like Jorge Masvidal and Henry Cejudo thought Yan, who entered the Saturday bout as ESPN's #2 ranked bantamweight, deserved to win the decision over O'Malley. Worst robbery in UFC history, according to Henry Cejudo. We hope our sport doesn't turn into a scam like boxing. Despite the fact that Michael Chiesa predicted Yan to win 30-27, O'Malley proved to be a top-tier bantamweight. We're all convinced that he will eventually obtain a belt. Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan's outcome wasn't one that Khabib Nurmagomedov approved of, however. On the main card of Saturday's UFC 280 event in Abu Dhabi, O'Malley received a split decision victory over Yan, which caught the former UFC champion and UFC Hall of Famer off guard. Although it was a close fight, many people, including Nurmagomedov, disagree with how the match was scored. Sean O'Malley has only ever suffered a defeat at the hands of Marlon Vera. Although Sugar continues to deny the setback to this day, he claims that his leg was compromised because of a damaged nerve. More on praise for O'Malley. Other celebrities, however, praised O'Malley and the fantastic fight the performers put up. According to ESPN's bantamweight rankings, O'Malley entered the fight unranked. Many were taken aback by O'Malley's outcome. He was up against the former champion and a huge underdog. O'Malley hasn't lost a fight since a TKO loss to Marlon Vera in 2020. For the first time, Yan is currently on a 2-fight losing streak. 3 of his 4 fights have ended in losses, with the other 2 coming against Aljamain Sterling in title battles. We think that O'Malley's journey has been an exciting one, and it appears that it'll continue as Sugar is now perfectly positioned to challenge Aljamain Sterling for the UFC championship. However, based on responses following his victory over Yan, people wouldn't exactly line up to see it. Moving on, can O'Malley be a champion in 2023? Despite his excellent performance against Petr Yan on Saturday, the majority of viewers thought Yan should have won. Nobody blamed Yan and his crew for being upset because some bets even had him winning all 3 competitions. Although we hate the word robbery, it accurately describes what took place. If Yan is given permission, there won't even be a discussion. None of this suggests that O'Malley won't be able to face Sterling and prevail in a title fight. In a title bout, almost every opponent he faced would be outmatched by him physically. Despite the fact that White named Henry Cejudo in the press conference following the fight, it's likely that he'll compete against Sterling in the next match. Sterling's wrestling and grappling are even more dominant, but Yan gave O'Malley some trouble, so he definitely wouldn't have it easy. It seems like Sugar Sean has proven many people wrong, is a serious contender, and is now much closer to winning the UFC Bantamweight Championship than he was 72 hours ago. He can't be denied all that. Lastly, our take on O'Malley. Let's just say that O'Malley doesn't seem to be in a rush right now. He is aware of where he should be in the impending fight. Does he have to begin training right away if he accepts the title fight in a few months? No way. Not if he believes that taking a break after a busy second half of the year would be healthier for him. At the top of this division, there are many options. The stylistic rivalry at the top will be difficult for O'Malley as well. Despite his exceptional talent, he would struggle to equal Sterling or Cejudo's wrestling history. He can certainly handle the challenge, but his chances of winning in 2023 are slim. Why can't we believe O'Malley will win the belt in 2023 after being so impressed by him? Because he doesn't sound like a man who is passionate about moving up the UFC ladder. Being only 27, he has achieved quite a lot, so he's probably not going to be in the scene for a while. That's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. What do you think of the UFC 280 takeaway? And does O'Malley deserve to have that spot? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.